Thanks for joining us for Isis in the Bible Summer Gathering Week number 5, Perfection. The question for today is, what does the phrase beauty is in the eye of the beholder mean to you? The perception of beauty is subjective and varies from person to person. The phrase is often attributed to the Greek philosopher Plato. Was there more to it than the physical definition of beauty? Are we to look for the beauty from the essence, the unseen, tethered to the visible? Glad you could join us today. First, we'll start off with what's happening in the sky. If you're like many people, memories are being brought forward with all these planets, aka wandering stars, in retrograde. Look how many are in retrograde right now. This is at 333 today. All of these are in retrograde. So it's going this way, goes backwards, and then forward again. So all that's happening. Now, the past few days and the next few days are important because Mercury retrograde is the one that is the akashic record. It's the scribe, right? Mercury's a scribe, and the scribe is with you. So all your actions. So it's your own self-internal system that's measuring you. So with Mercury, he's got the akashic record, and these are all the qualities of you that you can be potentially feeling. So a lot of memories can be coming up to you from the past few days, and it can be guiding you, and it can be testing you. So they're all tests that have to be redone with love. And they know the message in Leo, the heart, right? So, and obviously there's fire. So the sun is hot and Leo is fire, and it can cause fires in your situations, of course. But how are you going to replay them with love? So all these planets in retrograde, if you are past the cleansing stage, which many of us are not, but once we get past that, then they're invigorating signs for you to work on. You're just going to say, oh, you want me to go that way? Oh, you don't want me to go that way. And they become more and more apparent to you. So this is what's happening in the sky right now. So it's memories and going backwards. So in other words, it's trying to teach you what you need to change. So a couple of little chuckles, thanks to Kat, and then of course Lovely too just brought one up during the discussion. Eye of the beholder, and then Lovely had the beer holder. Beauty in the eyes of the beer holder and the beholder. So we thought that was pretty funny. Had to share that. So thanks for that, Kat. We need some comedy. So gold atoms are surrounded by 12 neighboring atoms. Nice number, eh? 12 zodiac, 12 apostles. They call it face-centered cubic. Why do I have gold here? Well, gold is adored, isn't it? Gold doesn't tarnish. Kind of like perfect, isn't it? It's the closest thing to perfection besides water, unmanifest water and the ether. Because don't forget, that's the waters is where we come from. So it's nothing we want to go and start chasing gold, right? So today we'll be talking about a different kind of beauty and show you proof that this is in the Bible. It's perfection of the universe in both the physical and the metaphysical, aka matter and spirit. So the underlying beauty, the essence, is the wisdom to which we seek once again. I preface the word wisdom because this stuff here has been shared with me through Ken Wheeler and through others, but it's so many people are trying to get this out, and I'll show you a video here of something you're going to get a little chuckle out of. So when you can find love in all situations, this is the road to perfection because it's your world. You are a transceiver of your vibrations, and everybody else is a guide in your life. So I thank each and every one of you for being my guide. Let's start with how Donald Duck learned about perfection. How many of you remember this cartoon? Trying to program us when we were young in a good way. This all died off for some reason, but it needs to come back. So let's go ask Donald.
I don't like put it down. Well, I'll be a postgraduate kid.
It was our old friend Pythagoras who discovered that the pentagram was full of mathemagic. The two shorter lines combined exactly equal the third. And this line shows the magic proportions of the famous golden section. The second and third lines exactly equal the fourth. Once again, we have the golden section. But this is only the beginning. Hidden within the pentagram is a secret for creating a golden rectangle, which the Greeks admired for its beautiful proportions and magic qualities. The star contains the golden rectangle many times over. It's a most remarkable shape. It can mathematically reproduce itself indefinitely. All these rectangles have exactly the same proportions. This figure also contains a magic spiral that repeats the proportions of the golden section into infinity. To the Greeks, the golden rectangle represented a mathematical law of beauty. We find it in their classical architecture. The Parthenon, perhaps one of the most famous of early Greek buildings, contains many golden rectangles. These same golden proportions are also found in their sculpture. In the centuries that followed, the golden rectangle dominated the idea of beauty in architecture throughout the Western world. The Cathedral of Notre Dame is an outstanding example. The Renaissance painters knew this secret well. Today, the golden rectangle is very much a part of our modern world. Modern painters have rediscovered the magic of these proportions. Indeed, this ideal proportion is to be found in life itself.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is mathematics. I got mathematical figures like that.
Donald.
Get me to it.
No.
Ideal proportion.
Not quite. No, I'm afraid not. Well, we can't all be mathematically perfect.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I knew I could do it.
Now that you're all pent up in a pentagon, let's see how nature uses this same mathematical form. The petunia. The star jasmine. The starfish. The wax flower. There are literally thousands of members in good standing in nature's Pythagorean Society of the Star. All nature's works have a mathematical logic, and her patterns are limitless. magic proportions of the golden section are often found in the spirals of nature's designs.
So they don't talk really much about the golden triangle, but it's all based on the same thing. But the golden triangle is something that we need to discuss. Okay, let's talk about perfection in the Bible. The Bible has a unique way of talking about the imperfect versus the perfect, but we're going to show you how you can get to this. This brother did a great job here, goldennumber.net/Bible. So perfection in the Bible. Book of Genesis, chapter 6. I took the not positive word out and put in not good. The not good in the world. Verse 15, God commands Noah to build an ark, saying, and this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. The 50 divided by the 30 is 1.6667. So what he found in there is that there's a relationship between the 666. And you guys know that number very well. But what I wanted to show you, this 50 into 30, is that on the 60 repeating numbers is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. There's the 5 and the 3, and the 5 divided by 3 is where you get your 1.6666 repeated. So I just wanted to show you that relationship. 1.667 is going towards 1.618, the golden number. And the more and more you get away from here, so as we're going the Piscean age, so this is the Piscean age, so as we're going further this way, which is the ratio of the Fibonacci, two consecutive Fibonacci numbers, they resolve towards 1.618. So we're sitting here right here at 1.666, and sixes means excess. We'll talk about that in a second. So in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 18, the beast is out of the sea. This calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it's a man's number. His number is 666. And that's what resists love. So don't want to get into calculus or trigonometry, but if you take the sine, which another word for sine is sin, because you're measuring this, how far away you are from this, and this is the loving line. So this is sin, sine wave. So if you take the sine of 666, it's exactly equal to 1/2 of the 1.618. So you can see when they're talking about the Ark of the Covenant, they're talking about the golden ratio. They're talking about perfection, because phi, a circle and a line, which you should remember as the 0 and the 1, as we leave love, we want to try to go back to this ratio, which gives us that perfection in life, which is the golden ratio. And the only way to do that is to understand beauty in the eye of the beholder is not what you see in the mirror. It's the essence of how things become manifest. And that's what we're trying to present today. So I just got a little video here.
Watch how these fascinating geometrical patterns in nature can be explained by this one simple sequence of numbers. We start with the numbers 0 and 1 and we add them to each other. Then we start adding the resulting consecutive numbers on top of each other, like this. For example, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, and so on and so on. But what's so special about these simple numbers? And how do they appear in nature? Check out how the sunflower arranges its seeds. We see spirals, going in 2 different directions. If we count these spirals, we will find that they often come in pairs like 34 and 55, or 55 and 89 sometimes even. These are pairs of Fibonacci numbers. You may have heard that the Fibonacci numbers are related to the golden ratio. If we start dividing 2 consecutive Fibonacci numbers and do this ad infinitum, we will find that the quotient will approach the golden ratio.
So you can see that as you start moving away on the circle of 60, when you start dividing each other out, right? Because it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. As you start dividing the last 2 out, they approach 1.618, which is perfection. So right here is the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces. This is more proof that we are the sixes. We are the beast. We are the one that's been not loving. And now we're going to go into the next part of our journey where we're going to be more towards that perfection. And that'll be both on the external and the internal. And we have no choice. And that's the beautiful part.
To higher and higher degrees of accuracy. But why do sunflowers do this? Because it ensures the optimal production of seeds, as well as the optimal growth of leaves on the stem, to maximize exposure to sunlight. In other words, the Fibonacci numbers help the sunflowers ensure optimal resource utilization and efficient growth.
So the golden ratio, it's self-folding. It always maintains that ratio. It's us in resistance that strays away from it. Mother Nature knows how to do it with their eyes closed. But us, because we're just back into that learning curve again, from the Piscean age, we're going into the age of Aquarius, you can see. What the Egyptians talk about the cubit is they're measuring. We've been through this a couple times. So you can see the elbow into the hand is a ratio of 1 and 0.618. If you divide 1 divided by 1.618, you'll get the 0.618 back. Do you see that? 1 divided by 1.618, it's 0.33, it goes on further. If you divide them out, you get the 0.618 back. It's self-similarity. This is what gives you the hologram. So that's why they measured in cubit, because that's the way you can tell how old people were. Because we grow and we shrink, but not relative to the whole. We're always in that golden ratio proportion. So this is the beauty and the essence. We're infinite. We're 100% infinite. So there was no giants because they were in the same ratio to the trees as we are today. But we're tomorrow's giants in a couple 10,000 years or whatever. So this is the beauty in the eye of the beholder, one who holds wisdom, knowing that this happens. Here's what Ken Wheeler teaches. This is the golden triangle. 2 sides of 1 and a base of phi. When you do the incommensurate cut where this is equal to 0.618 and this is equal to 1, you now get another golden ratio triangle. See, if you cut it down here, this becomes 1, this becomes 1, and this is phi. It's the exact same triangle, except it is either out or in. So you can see this is where you get 1 is to phi is to 1. This is the only triangle you need to teach kids with the circle that you've seen before. But Ken gave something very, very important. There's no capstone on the pyramid for a reason, because they're saying above the pyramid is the holos, where you can't see. Just like they talk about above our crown chakra, there's something there, right? So holos is that which you cannot see. The principle and attribute together as a holos. And this is 1 over phi to the power minus 3. So don't get hung up on the math, because it's just ratios. So Ken goes really in depth with these. But this is the golden incommensurate triangle, the hologram of timeless life. We do act as a hologram. We absolutely do. But it's our free will that allows us to move around with good karma or not good karma, depending on us. So the whole is the one and the one is the whole. And you are the one who is the beauty and the beast that can only tame yourself. Nobody else can. Only you can. So I know you've seen the circle of 60 before, but I made a little animation and I just want to share it with you. Have you heard the golden ratio sequence of numbers, aka Fibonacci golden ratio spiral? The ratio of perfection and beauty? People like you who seek wisdom will see that only keeping the last digit of each summation of the last 2 numbers and wrapping them around a circle will repeat every 60 numbers. This sequence is unique in that it captures the essence of the golden ratio, while also exhibiting a repeating pattern. But not only this, you shall witness that it manifests across by the 4 zeros. And then yes, a unique pattern on the cross outlining a swastika. Rising in the east, we have the alphas of ones surrounding the 0 as 1011. Then setting in the west, we have the omega 9099. At the top of the chart, we have the 7077, the 7 colors of the rainbow, the white light of the day. Last but not least, we have the 3033, which represents the 3 golden ratio triangles which make up the star of the night. You will notice that the only true zodiac of 12 equal houses becomes apparent as it aligns with the cross and every 5th number, which also aligns with the circle of the fifths in music. This is how every atom of the micro to the macro of the Earth's universe becomes or manifests. So that golden triangle, that holos, that circle of 60, it's proving that you're infinite, and that when you retain that wisdom, that it's the only thing you need to teach a child. If a child doesn't want to learn trigonometry, then don't teach them. Don't teach them this. But it's something that we need to hold and treasure, because this is what we used to know. And then all physics, there's only one physics, and all those compartmentalized sciences come together as one. So it's important that we continue to share this wisdom back through the channels, because it's resurfacing again. Because when you have this truth, this knowledge, it vibrates with you on the inside. You connect with it. This is the essence. This is spirit in the physical view form. But when you understand that we are infinite and we're self-folding and we are the beauty and the beast, then you can control your own world. That's all I have for today.